argue. All right, Betting Weekly Tennis live in the Bet River Studios. Make sure you download the app. Make sure you follow us on our socials at Because We Win. Mitch Michals, Dustin Fox. Nigel Seeley was on the show yesterday, and one of the things he said that was true, Dustin, was that every intro is slightly different. We had a little Euro dance yesterday. Now,
bro, I have no clue what that was just now. I mean, it sounded like we're dancing like an Irish jig or something there, but it's like the Betting Weekly song. Is that
there's three songs. We've got a couple songs. We've got a couple songs all guaranteed to get us amped up, ready to go. This is fun. We've got a lot of great tennis. Shout out to all our great comments like Duncan Evans. We're ready to roll here. I'm Mitch Michals, host of the show. And yesterday we had a great one. We're Monte Carlo Masters. Dustin Fox joining the show. Dustin, as a lot of people out there might know or might not know, former national champion college football player, NFL player, but as you've said, after all the radio work you've done in Cleveland and all the podcast work you've done, you have a new sickness and a new addiction, and it's tennis. Lost you there? We're working on Dustin's mic. I think I'm coming in clear. I think so.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, yes, I played in the NFL. I played football my whole life. And over the last, 5 or so years, maybe it happened during COVID mostly, I started to really get into tennis, and to the point where it has become sort of like my life. Like, I play tennis every day for minimum 3 hours, sometimes more than that, sometimes twice a day. I play on tons of USTA teams, and I watch it literally all day. And, for those who don't know, I did radio in Cleveland. You mentioned some of that for a long, long time. 5 hours a day for 13 years, talking about Cleveland sports. And really, all I really wanted to talk about was tennis for the last 5 years. And so I've been so grateful to the folks at Bet Rivers to allow me to get into this space, the tennis space. And you, partner, is you and I became buddies a while back when I was a guest on your podcast, the tennis channel. And I think we sort of struck up a little bit of a friendship, and this whole thing kind of came together. It's pretty cool.
It's great, and it's so fun to have this opportunity here. Bet Rivers, again, Because We Win as the socials. We've got a lot of live tennis in the Monte Carlo Masters to get to.
Oh, yeah.
And, this is a great show, great opportunity. We know live betting is a big thing, and looking at 3 matches right now, Tsitsipas, Thompson, Draper, Giron. But the one that's closest to the finish line that I want to start out with, Dustin, Francis Tiafoe, American, that is taking on Miomir Kechmanovic. This was an interesting one coming in because we were talking. Tiafoe is normally a favorite. He gets the bump. He's a very popular player. They priced him as the underdog because of the travel. Houston final a couple of days ago. He wins the first set. He falls in the second, and we are deep into the third. Tiafoe trying to level the matchup at 3-4. He is now plus 310 live, and we're still on serve. So think about that for a second, right? You're looking at Tiafoe. We don't know if he has fumes. We don't know the energy level, but he's right there against a very tough player. What are we thinking here? There's only a couple games left. Do you think Tiafoe has what it takes to really bounce back?
We got a break point right now. Catchy with a break on Tiafoe's serve, 3-4. I mean, I don't know. I'm a huge Kechmanovic fan. Like, I like his game. Earlier this year, I watched him. He had a really nice performance at Del Rey, which he took the title. And that was a match. He was down a break in the final set, comes back, breaks, holds, and goes on to win that. So I've always been a fan of his game. He doesn't really look like the like, he's not like the first off the bus guy, you know what I mean? But he's a heck of a player and just a grinder. And Tiafoe, I've never won money on. So I love his game. I like his ability. I mean, he's a fan favorite. We know all of that. but he doesn't seem to get across the finish line. And how much did you watch of the Houston this past weekend, or the past week? I should say
decent amount. Jensen Brooksby, incredible. It's the match point theory, right? Dude. He saves match points against Tabilo. He gets all the way to the final. Tommy Paul, back-to-back match points, and then he runs away with the final. Crazy. Brooksby's a problem when he's on because no one plays like him, and when no one plays like you, you're impossible to kind of scout. There's nobody you can practice for, so he kind of bull rushed Tiafoe there. But I'm with you on the Kechmanovic side. Is Tiafoe saved break points? You could see if you're following along on the Bet Rivers app, which you obviously should. Tiafoe, I think he just held serve, so he's minus money. So there you go. That's how quickly all this changes, right? You get it on the right point. But I think
live betting on tennis is the best, I think, of all the sports, because you can really catch some good odds and some juicy numbers, like plus money on favorites who just get down a break. And if you know these players and you watch them and you study it, you can really have some value in finding a player. Or, let's say you take a player pre-match and he does get down like an early break. Like, for example, like when Djokovic got broke to start the match against Dimitrov down in Miami in the final. Like, oh man, and then it's break right back and then steamrolls through.
Same thing against Musetti round before.
You could have cut those odds in half after just the first game. And so I do like to do that whenever there's a nice opportunity. Right now, what are we looking at live on these odds?
So right now, Kechmanovic taking a lead in the service game. He got Tiafoe at plus 140, Kechmanovic at minus 205. So if you're looking at it from Kechmanovic, you want probably Tiafoe to get to 5-5 and trust that your guy can get winning it in a tie break. But there's opportunity here. There's a couple other live matches I do want to mention quickly. Looks like Jack Draper's in command over Marcos Giron. Giron had a nice win, but having to go back to it. Draper is an interesting one, right? Because Dustin, we're going to find out pretty soon what his game is like on the clay. We don't know yet. We don't have a sample size, so either there's going to be a ton of value, or maybe he's going to be a little overpriced. So
he redlined to Indian Wells and then had a very early exit in Miami. Maybe too many pints after that celebration in California.
It's like going from it's like playing on two different surfaces. So that's what I was going to say. Like you go Indian Wells to Miami, it's completely different. And he lost to the eventual champion. Who would have known that the guy he drew was Mensik, who goes all the way. So not the easiest match to draw there. Other live match too that we'll be discussing probably through the duration of this show. Tsitsipas and Jordan Thompson into the third set. Tsitsipas, the 3-time champion, won it last year. Drops the first set, looked a little sluggish, and even in set 2, Dustin, he was serving for the match, got broke, had to battle at the end. I would expect water to find its level, but Thompson's a dog, and I mean that in a positive way. He beat Tsitsipas, I think, Indian Wells last year or 2 years ago, so he's just going to keep fighting. And Duncan Evans, as he points out, Thompson and Tsitsipas, it's a good one, and I think this could have a lot of twists and turns to it based on how much Thompson fights out there.
I think it's going to be a fun match to watch finish, and certainly some opportunities here depending on which side you lie. But like Thompson's a tricky player. I love his doubles game, to be honest with you. Like there's not a lot of people out there that like to watch doubles. I'm a big doubles player myself, so I love his game. He's been playing with Sebastian Korda, and those two have had a nice combo. But all that doubles he plays, I think it makes him a better singles player, honestly. And Tsitsipas, who he was on the struggle bus for like a hot minute, has now sort of found it a little bit more of the last couple of tournaments. So obviously he's good on clay. We know that. I don't think Thompson's going to win this match. I don't.
Yeah, and we got a shout out from our guy Nigel, who is watching the show. Here's the comment: he thinks Tiafoe gets broken next
Nigel,
game.
1000% with you. What do we get some odds on that? Let's get some odds on a break here coming out on this next service game for Tiafoe to stay in the match.
Kechmanovic minus 240, just looking for a break. Yeah, it's a tough one though. The live factor. I think you had your opportunity to really hammer Kechmanovic before we were on the air, right? Like you lose the first set, it's go time. Also, given the travel and everything that he has to go through. But yeah, Jordan Thompson. You ever get that doppelganger, Dustin? Jordan Thompson? Yourself?
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I want to make sure. Honestly, more from people that actually like watch tennis, like my tennis buddies, more so than anybody else in the world. Most people would say that, well, I do have the mustache going right now. By the way, folks, this is not, I'm not a predator. This is just for fun. I usually have a beard on, but So this is the look for now. Usually I get like Jimmy Kimmel sometimes when I do have the beard going, but Yeah, Jordan Thompson. He's a good-looking dude, man. I'll take that.
Well, what else did we like today as we kind of, we'll keep our eyes on these matches, obviously, and if something happens, we'll go to it. But Dustin, other matches today that stood out. I mean, the star-studded one was Berrettini beats Zverev, and
yes,
it was look, I mean, we'll get to Zverev in a second, how he just hasn't gotten the job done recently, but what Berrettini did today, if you watch that match, how he played, how he stayed in rallies, this is like a 2.0 Berrettini, at least on the clay, and we'll get to the future on clay and grass. But Dustin, this is as good as he's looked in my mind on this surface ever.
By the way, did you see they had, I believe, a 48-shot rally?
Yeah.
Dude. And I watched the whole thing. They weren't dinking and dunking this. I mean, they were smacking the ball, and just both players were striking the ball well. It's impressive. I thought Berrettini was very impressive in Miami. Thought he played pretty well in Indian Wells. Like, I think this could be interesting. We were in the group chat earlier talking about this with Nigel and the crew. Like, Wimbledon's going to be fascinating because those odds are like super juicy on Berrettini. You said it was
40 to 1.
40 to 1.
It's absurd. It's absurd.
Dude, I'm throwing $100 on that.
He's if you're power ranking players on grass, obviously there's a tier of like Alcaraz, Djokovic, Sinner, of course, everywhere. Tell me why Berrettini is not top 5 or 6 contenders to win Wimbledon. I would just love for someone to explain that to me, given that he's made the final.
I just want to say I got a live bet on Kechmanovic here to win this service game. 30-15, I got plus 425.
It was just such a fascinating one with Berrettini. Zverev, though, we've got to talk about it because this is, all due respect, Cerundolo to beat Alcaraz. Okay. We got to talk about Zverev, Dustin, because as the 1 seed until Sinner's suspension ends, as historically bad as it could have gone, like Sinner retains the #1 ranking. Going into this tournament, we'll see how it turns out. He was also #1 in the race. Like the race at the end, he played one event. He won it, but it was the Australian Open. But Zverev and even Alcaraz to another extent, like they had this opportunity, couldn't get it done.
No, I think there's a lot of pressure on those guys, man. And certainly with the doping stuff going on with Sinner, it's like very fascinating to see how that plays out. I think he certainly, that's a heck of a shot by Kechmanovic, that backhand. Sorry to talk
it's good.
Live
I just
We're
don't think
all here, boys and girls.
I don't think there's going to be much, if any, value on Zverev going forward. I mean, I don't know how you could trust him even on his favorite surface, which I do think is probably clay, but that was a tough one to see. I mean, there's other matches I wanted to get to that we looked at today. Cabelli beat Lahovic. That was one I wasn't expecting. Got that one wrong. Thought Cabelli would be a little gassed, but he's just riding the wave, keeping it going. And then Nuno Borges. I mean, Holger didn't even make the finish line today, Dustin. Borges, we talked about maybe it's upset.
Dude, you and I talked last night. I called you. I felt bad. I called you around midnight Eastern time, but I'm like, oh, I forgot my boys on Cali time. So it was like 9 o'clock. But we were talking about that. Like, Holger Rune is, I mean, something else, dude. I mean, he's a super talented player, but his mind is like just not in the game.
So do you bet against him? I mean, is it worth throwing against who he's playing just because stuff like this could happen? I mean, I don't want it to happen, but if you're talking about value, Holger can have these performances.
He can, and we have a break point coming up here for Kechi
against
Tiafoe.
Huh?
Yeah, we got add out. We got to add out.
Tiafoe, as we were talking about, a very popular player, 62% bets on the money line, 76% on the spread for him. So I don't know. A lot of people got this one right, though, for the over. They expected a physical match in this one.
We got a match point here, partner. Match point.
Wow. Kechmanovic stuff.
I know we got to keep talking. I like them shoes.
No,
I have
Kechmanovic.
Hey, got the Vapor 11 clays on. I have those.
When we talked yesterday on the show, we were chatting about Fokina, who is already out, and Nigel's like, you can't trust him, which is true. I mean, it was the Kechmanovic Del Rey match, 5-2 match point down. Kechmanovic wins the match, so that dude's a fighter. He'll definitely push forward in this one. But yeah, looking at some of this stuff as we have match point,
break point saved, match point saved,
break point saved. Wow, big foe overheads.
And
ever get nervous on those overheads? Match point down overhead,
1,000%. And what's so funny about this, if for folks out there who watch tennis, maybe don't play, is like I get so mad at myself when I miss an overhead that's like an easy one. But then you watch some of these things, some of these pros, they miss the easy shot sometimes. And sometimes if you miss an overhead, it could cost you the match. Like just that 1 point can totally, I've seen it 1,000 times where guys just totally miss an easy volley put away or an overhead smash where you should like yesterday it happened for what's his face we were watching Hachinov missed the overhead.
That was
when
bad.
He's serving to stay in at 4-5.
Novak Djokovic, greatest player of all time. He's another one that just can't hit overheads. Just can't do it.
They're hard. And by the way, no one practices them. So that's a big part of it.
Well, looking at the number now, Tsitsipas is minus 590. That match is still on serve. It's 30 all in that game. Thompson plus 430. Draper's about at the finish line. Tiafoe has game point as I'm looking at the odds, plus 140 to Kechmanovic. Right? Like if you're backing Kechmanovic, which it sounds like you are, Dustin, if it does get 5-5, you just hammer him then. It's probably going to be the best value you can get left.
Yeah, I think he's going to win this match. Although if Tiafoe's got to add in here, if he holds, who knows, man? These things get so dicey. Once you get into, the 11th, 12th game in a third set, in a decider, it's very interesting to see how the nerves come into play, especially on the first couple of points on a service game on clay. Like if you fall, love 15, love 30, it's very difficult to climb out of that hole from a mental standpoint.
So I do want to correct myself. I do want to correct myself. So Fokina's still in it. He plays Etcheverry. Fokina beat Shelton.
He beat Shelton yesterday. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So we do have that matchup coming up, and I do think that Etcheverry's, he beat Mute today, and it was a wild one, of course.
My boy Mute is going to be entertaining. Always.
That was another good one. I do want to mention here tennis betting weekly tennis live here on Bet Rivers. Remember, download the app, get in on all this action. There's just tennis all the time. That's the best part of this. Is live is just amazing. It's Kechmanovic still, man, 15 love, 5 all, Dustin, minus 165. So, but Adam Thompson going the other way, doesn't going to trust him at the end of the final set. Maybe Tiafoe can will himself through the finish line. It's very possible. We got some good matches coming up tomorrow, though, and I wanted to know if you had any thought. I mean, because we're finally getting the top players. I know Zverev played, but Alcaraz gets Cerundolo. That's an interesting one. Djokovic, Tabilo beat Stan, and Tabilo actually took Djokovic out of Rome last year. So, anything on tomorrow's slate that you got your eye on or considering?
I'm just sort of looking through this now, and because I was obviously focused on today.
Oof!
I'll be curious to see how Medvedev's body holds up after the end of that match. You saw the cramps, the full body cramps, like on the court, dude. If Khachanov holds that service game when he was serving 4-5, I think he may have won the match because there was not much left in the tank for Daniil Medvedev at the end of that, and he's got Muller tomorrow, who is played really well. This is his surface, like. He's a Frenchman, it's like he plays really well. So I don't know. We'll see. That's an interesting one. Mahach and Demon are playing each other. That's going to be like you'll get tired watching that match.
Just
prepared to sweat on your couch watching those chase those fuzzy yellow balls.
I'll tell you the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of Monfils and Rublev. Gael is plus.
I heard you guys talking about this yesterday. Because everyone's like a hater on Rublev because he's had so many mental breakdowns and God knows how many rackets he's broken over the last several years. But he's still a talented player.
He is. My bigger issue in recent memory, just taking the sample size of the last year or two, he's lost early in tournaments a lot more than he has just by the data. So, and the fact that Monfils, I don't know, what's the aging process there? How does he still look so spry
at 37 years old? I mean,
he's flying around.
I don't know. I'm 42 and I'm flying around pretty good on the court these days, buddy.
He's got some miles though on the tennis court.
Yeah, I don't have the miles like he does, man.
It's been fine.
I've got football miles. They're a little different.
That was one to look at. Yeah, Cerundolo Alcaraz. Could we get a sleepy Alcaraz tomorrow? Because Cerundolo is plus 290. I will say
playing out of his mind.
If we're ranking forehands, Cerundolo is top 10, top 5. It's up there. So the Alcaraz thing, and I would say too, if you're on the Bet Rivers app, and this is just me throwing stuff out there, look at Cerundolo to win the first set because there's been sleepy, not hitting the snooze button Alcaraz. He lost the Draper first set in the semi in like 20 minutes or whatever that was. So maybe you can look at it like, if you don't trust him, there is always the bet you can take him to just win a set. But if you want to call your shot, I think set one Cerundolo might be the play, because I do think that Alcaraz has shown he doesn't really show up on time.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking back, because Cerundolo did win the first set in the quarters against Dimitrov in Miami.
His player game spread 8.5 minus 134. I actually love that. I love him to win 9 games in the match.
Yeah, I like that.
That'd be one.
That's another thing that you can find some really good value on with tennis that not a lot of people know about. If you're just kind of a novice tennis bettor, or you bet football or basketball, or football. American football here.
American, you got to clarify.
The football across the pond is a little different. I mean, but the thing is, there's so many ways to find action, and there's value on certain players when you look at some of those game within the game type of bets.
Also had a stat for you too, because he won today. He plays a wild card tomorrow, so most likely going to win. But did you know that Grigor Dimitrov has the second most wins here at Monte Carlo? Djokovic, of course, but he just keeps winning. He loves it here. So he's another one, right? He just loves it. The backhand was buzzing. He just needs to calibrate it a little bit, get it ready, get himself some time. But yeah, huge favorite tomorrow, obviously. But yeah, he's a player to watch. And yeah, I don't know. I think that with the Djokovic to BO odds, those are sky high. But
I just jumped on
to see. Yeah,
I just jumped on Kechmanovic who says it right, by the way? Is it Kechmanovic or how are you saying it? Kechmanovic?
I know it's probably Kechmanovic. We should probably verify that. But if you're looking for a long shot to maybe win, I don't know. Let's see what Casper Ruud looks like against RBA tomorrow. Hasn't been great. Is he gonna get back
another choke artist?
Loves the clay though, but
he does. And dude, I love his game. I just wish he was more consistent.
Musetti Lehechka, another one. Lorenzo Musetti, minus 143.
Musetti could win this thing.
Hot shot king, Lorenzo Musetti.
I don't like the haircut though.
No, he lost all his aura. That's what they're saying. The internet's saying he lost all his aura with his haircut. But yeah, those are the ones I'm looking at tomorrow. And then I guess we're gonna have to see. I mean, these live matches though, as we gear into it, Draper took that one. He's home. Thompson's still battling. We're still on serve. The market's treating this as Tsitsipas minus 560. But
hey, listen, I'm all over this service game here for Kechmanovic to break and win the match, not on serve. By the way, it's always easier, I feel like, for a player to win returning serve as opposed to serving it out.
Well, if we're gonna have that discussion, we'll ask, WTA, yes. I don't know about if I would agree ATP, but if you ask the WTA player, would they rather return or serve for the match? I think they'd probably rather return.
No. I'm saying, but like for like Kechi right now is up 6-5.
Oh yeah, you got to be serving first.
Like close it out.
Nigel brought that up yesterday. It was a great point. It's you want to serving first, and the odds are going to reflect that. But as he also mentioned too, you want to find value on that player that serves second. That's where the real value can be found, because you're still technically on serve if you like someone.
Right.
But yeah, this match is going to go a long way in determining stuff too. I want to see if Tiafoe wins here, what he can do with it, how he can keep going. But I mean, Jordan Thompson and the other side, the Thompson Tsitsipas match as he faces break point now. 3-time champion Stefanos Tsitsipas, which, by the way, if you're looking for your RG Roland Garros futures, which we can dabble here in a second, but there's always the readjustment after Monte Carlo. Tsitsipas last year went from like 17-1 to 8-1 after winning this tournament. So right now it's Alcaraz plus 130 and Sinner plus 200, followed by Djokovic and Zverev 900 and 1100. So I don't know what to expect from this match finishing up though. We're at 30 all, so Tiafoe
I'm watching intently in this one.
Cold though, right? With the long sleeve, must be chilly.
Gotta be a little
in the Principality.
A little nipply out there.
Well, we have a minute too. Remember, Nigel's going to be at Monte Carlo tomorrow, so maybe we can get some intel there. Also want to promote Betting Weekly Live with Nigel Seeley and Steve Weiss, which is now on YouTube channel. Previews tonight's huge Champions League quarterfinal, the first leg. So go to Bet Rivers, get in on the action, watch the show on YouTube, and then download the app too, because not just tennis here. We've got, soccer, or as they call it, football over there. And we also have Masters coming up. So a lot to go. But
update the Thompson match there, Mitch. We got a break.
He broke, huh?
We got a break. Tsitsipas now serving 4-2.
Will there be another break in this match? That's my question. What do you think? Break back, or does Tsitsipas run away and win this 6-2?
I don't know. Thompson just gifted him one in the net.
That's what I'm thinking.
I would like to see another break. I'd like to see Thompson just at least get it back on serve and try to stay in this thing.
What did we end with yesterday? Med catching off 5 straight breaks, then the match?
Something like that.
Something like that.
When you get into a match like that where it's break, it's like you get plus odds, like plus 150, 180, whatever it is, and you're still getting those odds prior to the game. It's like, jump on that. Right. Was Nigel betting the breaks yesterday?
I don't think so. He didn't. Okay. I wasn't sure. Who knows? But I'm not sure. He might have been. We got a tie break, so we'll definitely stay, and we'll wrap this show up when this tie break ends. We want to pay this match off. This worked out pretty good here. So
by the way, where did the show go? 26 minutes already?
It was just flying by.
Oh my god.
Tiafoe, I might be ahead. I'm not sure. Tiafoe gets a mini break, minus 225. So there you go. Duncan Evans 5 minutes ago got 2-1 on Tiafoe. Now he's sitting here at good, but we'll see where this tie break goes. Yeah, yesterday there was, it ended with Fognini Cerundolo, but it's good to have, and no disrespect, Fognini got like the Masters champions gift, being in the tournament, but
he's like 42 years old or whatever.
Ending the day with a bang is pretty good. We're going to get to see we still got some daylight out there too.
You probably got some juicy odds on that bagel the first set he had to eat.
Oh yeah. Tiafoe starting to feel it.
Two love. When his forehand's cranking, it's really, really he whips that thing.
I'd say pound for pound too with the serve. Tiafoe's a strong dude, but he's only, relative to tennis, 6'1". I think that's not, but he fires it. And I'm a big fan. His coach David Witt worked with Jesse Pagula for a lot of years. He's very good at making match adjustments. So, Kechmanovic gets the break back. Shout out to the over bettors, by the way. Congratulations to them. They're just sitting back loving it.
Well, it's been a nice day for that. A lot of 3-setters.
As they say in any sport, American football, tennis, it's the only bet that you win before the game's over. You can just kick your feet up and it's officially over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think this is going to come down to,
man, I hate 7-point tiebreakers.
You'd rather go up to 10 to 12?
Like we play in USTA here in the States, like the third set's just a 10-point breaker. If you go to a third deciding set, it's just more room for error. I feel like in the 7-pointers, it's like sometimes just one missed forehand or something. It's just like, and then the match is over. If you're facing a really talented server and you give him a mini break, if you don't hold the very first point of a tie break, sometimes it's just that's it, and it stinks. The doubles they play the 10-point breakers in the third sets, which I like, and those
we've already had. We're on clay, right? We've already had 3 mini breaks.
Oh yeah, that's the thing too. In clay, the serve is more like a WTA type of deal. It's like there's a lot more breaks.
Yeah. And it's funny how it's cyclical, right? Like we've got some consolidation of power on the WTA. You saw firsthand Sabalenka when she's on. It's just tough to beat. But Pagula wins Charleston. We're starting to see. We'll have some women's tennis, obviously, for a lot of these weeks. This is just one of those rare ones where they're kind of off and the men are going. But talk about women's Stuttgart. That tournament is like exactly like Monte Carlo, just bangers right out of the gate. So you will see some classic matchups going in. Tiafoe goes to the changeover, though, 4-2. 4-2 up, 3 points away. As I'm watching a replay of this match point saved, you're right, Dustin. He just cranked that forehand and hit, 2 overheads? 3 overheads.
Yeah.
Two overheads. All right. But still, to not, falter there and, give the live bettors something to choose from.
All right, 4-2, Tiafoe here.
Ask that question. Tsitsipas 5-2 and love 30, so... could see the finish line, see his Aston Martin waiting
close
outside.
it out right here.
He sees his Aston Martin waiting outside. He's like, I got dinner reservations.
I should have bet against Holger Rune when they did an interview with him. Did you see the interview on TC where he talks about he just bought a new Porsche?
Oof.
Because he saw Djokovic's Porsche in Miami and he went and bought the same one. It's like, dude, maybe worry about hitting a forehand instead of the car you're driving that you don't even have a license for yet.
Yeah, is that the Arnold Palmer line? Is that the Arnold Palmer line about golfers when he saw a private plane? He's like, it took me 3 majors to get one of these.
Yeah. So here we go. 5-2.
Let's see.
It's still just a. Let's see here.
Baseline rally.
They're in a battle, dude.
Tiafoe's moving the slice in. I will say this: that
was a dumb decision on the drop shot there.
Wow.
I don't like that decision.
No, yeah. See if it comes back. I mean, Kechmanovic is going to fight, though.
He's only down a mini break. I mean, he's still serving 3-5.
No, at this point. Let's see where we're at. 5-3, 5-3. I'm a little ahead of you now.
That's Kechmanovic serving 3-5, right? Is that what you have?
Yeah. Wow. He finds a way. Yeah. Gosh. Francis to the finish line. That's what he wants.
All right, 5-4.
So he's 220 plus 220 for Kechmanovic down a mini break. Tiafoe has 2 service opportunities to get into the next round.
Let me tell you something. I had a match this past weekend. We were in the 3rd set breaker, and I'm serving. We were up 9-6. No, 8-6. I was serving, and I was so nervous, dude. These tiebreakers, man. And of course, double fault never fails.
Never
fails. Big serve.
Tiafoe rolling away.
We got a match point. It's funny, Kechmanovic had a match point. Tiafoe saves it. Now he's got 2 opportunities. One will be on his serve. One will be on Kechmanovic's serve. Shall he save this one?
If he needs it, yeah.
If he needs it, yeah.
Whoa.
That didn't have any legs into that first serve.
Nope. Jello leg that serve. Match point down. Man, so close to the finish line. Only sport 2 that you can't run the clock out in officially.
No. Net cord, what we got? Oh, he missed it.
Wow.
He missed it, dude. Holy hell. Saves a match point, and now we go 5-6. This is
5-6. Kechmanovic on match point now.
Dude, gets a net cord and then misses an easy backhand. They're not easy on match point.
No, they're not. Tiafoe's also a player. It's like Monfils. It's certain players. Djokovic is like this too. Body language, you can't read it. He walks with like a slower, solemn tone. Is he tired? Is he hurt? Or is that just his normal posture? So,
yeah, man.
Let's see if he locks in here.
It's like the old school pimp walk, man. They just got some swag to them.
Don't use any energy you don't need. That's a good rule of thumb.
Right.
Wow. We're going to a second serve. And
I'm ahead of you, dude.
I know. I see it now. And that'll do it.
Oh, my God. Another net cord.
He's getting the gift of the gods today. If you had Tiafoe in this match, you were looking at it from a different perspective. And that's how he'll do it. He finds a way to win. He finds a way
congrats to all the Tiafoe bettors out there. Lord knows I've never won back in him. Man.
No, he's on that list. Well, that was fun to kind of go all the way through. And I want to thank everybody out there for watching and listening to the Betting Weekly live tennis show. I'm Bet Rivers. Follow all. Yeah, Duncan Evans in there and Adam Thompson. They're winning.
Adam Thompson, you got your dub, man.
Follow all the Because We Win socials. On the way out the door, though, looking at bets, want to just look at tomorrow and just quickly mention some things. Dustin said Mueller against Medvedev plus 188 on the money line, plus 3.5 or minus 115. Could be worth it. Could be worth it. Minus 134 Cerundolo over 8.5 games. That's the one I'm targeting. And then, yeah, maybe if you like a favorite, maybe it's time for Musetti, a guy who's beat Djokovic here, right? Minus 143. Sound a little good?
I don't trust him with the haircut.
It's the haircut, yeah.
I don't trust him with the haircut.
Cerundolo, Alcaraz. Let's see, and let's see what Djokovic looks like back on the clay.
I mean, he's home. I mean, you're right there. You got the long, beautiful locks, man. You cut it off. What are you doing?
I know. You're wasting some prime hair years, buddy, but maybe it's for him.
It can't be worse than Taylor Fritz's haircut. I promise you that.
No, God, that guy got his haircut in the dark. It's not his fault. Richard Gasquet could be his last match tomorrow against Altmaier plus 180. You know the crowd's going to be buzzing for that one.
For sure.
Maybe worth it there. So, all right, for Dustin Fox, I'm Mitch Michals. Dustin, this was fun. We might as well keep doing it. We might as well just keep going.
Yeah. Let's come back and do it again.
Betting Weekly Live Tennis on Bet Rivers. Download the app. Watch us on YouTube. Follow the socials at Because We Win. 1 o'clock Eastern time, Monday through Wednesday. We're going to keep this train going. This was a great show. Thanks to everybody for watching, listening, whether it was live or on the re-air. For Dustin Fox, I'm Mitch Michals. This was Betting Weekly Live Tennis. We'll see you soon. Have a good one. Enjoy the tennis, everybody.